Hello students, welcome to Shri Jain Rank Zone. I am Karthik Chauhan and I will help you to prepare for English or verbal ability section of the exam. We will start with basic English grammar. This will help us to make a strong foundation and enable us to confidently solve questions related to fill in the blanks, common errors, clause, etc. Let's begin with nouns. A noun is a part of speech that names a person, place, thing, idea, action, or quality. Noun includes all objects that we can see, touch, hear, smell, or taste. Some things we can think of but cannot perceive by senses. Example: Ram is a good boy. In this sentence, Ram would be noun because it is trying to name a person in this sentence. Walnuts is noun in this sentence because it is trying to define a thing. Truthfulness is a rare virtue. In this sentence, truthfulness would be a noun. There are five different kinds of noun: proper noun, common noun, collective noun, material noun, and abstract noun. Types of noun in detail. Proper noun is the name of a particular or specific person, place, or thing. A proper noun always starts with a capital letter. This is very important. So always keep this in mind. A proper noun always starts with a capital letter. Example: Alfred is very naughty. In this sentence, Alfred is a proper noun and hence it has begun with a capital letter as well. India is a beautiful country. Jawaharlal Nehru was the first Prime Minister of India. In these sentences, Alfred, India, and Jawaharlal Nehru are all proper nouns. Let's move on to common noun now. A common noun is the name given to every common person or a thing of the same kind or class or type. Common here means shared by all. For example, the class is studying grammar. Class would be a common noun here because it is representing a group of students. She is a good girl. Dog is a loyal animal. In these sentences, class, dog, girl are all common nouns. Let's move on to collective nouns now. Collective noun is the name of a number of persons or things taken together and considered as one unit. For example, the flock of sheep spends most of its time in the pasture. In this sentence, flock would be a collective noun. Flock, a group of sheep together is called a flock. So, collective noun here in this sentence would be flock. The police dispersed the crowd. In this sentence, crowd would be a collective noun because it is representing a group of people. I saw a fleet of ships in the harbor. In this sentence, fleet would be a collective noun. In this above mentioned sentences, flock, crowd, and fleet are collective nouns. I hope collective nouns is clear to you now. The next type of noun is material noun. Material noun denotes the matter or substance that a thing is made up of. For example, the jewelry of the jewelry is made of gold. Here, gold would be a material noun. The chair is built of wood. Wood will be material noun in this sentence. The toy is made up of clay. Clay is the material noun in this example. So, gold, wood, and clay are the material noun in these given examples. Material nouns cannot be written in, please remember this, it is very important. Material nouns cannot be written in plural form. For example, this is a house made of bricks. We cannot write bricks. Brick, this is an incorrect sentence. The correct sentence would be, this is a house made of brick. Please understand, material nouns cannot be used in plural form. I hope this is clear to you all. Let's move on to the next type of noun, that is abstract noun. It is a noun which names quality, action, virtue, or state which one cannot perceive through one's five physical senses. That is, we cannot touch them, see them, feel them, or any other use any other five physical senses. For example, we all love honesty. Honesty is a virtue and it is an abstract noun in this sentence. Cleanliness is next to godliness. I love to remember the happy days of childhood. Childhood is a state, therefore, childhood is a abstract noun in this sentence. In the above mentioned sentences, honesty, cleanliness, and childhood are abstract nouns as we have already discussed. Apart from these five type of nouns, they can also be divided into these two categories, countable and non-countable nouns. Let us study countable noun in detail. Countable noun is a noun with both a singular and a plural form, and it names a thing or anyone that you can count. They can be modified with numerals and can co-occur with quantificational determiners like many, most, several, more, etc. Example: there is one chair in the room. There are 20 chairs in the room. In first example, chair is a singular and countable noun, while in second example, chairs is a plural and countable noun. We can use countable nouns with the indefinite articles a and n, which indicate one person or thing. For example, a notebook, an apple. We can also use countable nouns with the plural form of the noun. For example, three men, several mangoes, 12 apples, etc. So there is no restriction in using it as a singular noun or a plural noun. Non-countable or uncountable noun. This is a noun that does not have a plural form and that refers to something that you could or would not usually count. For example, there is no more milk in the kitchen. Milk, we cannot count milk. We can measure milk, but we cannot count milk. Therefore, milk would be a uncountable noun in this sentence. Please take good care of your furniture. In the above mentioned sentences, milk and furniture are all non-countable nouns. Non-countable nouns cannot take an indefinite article, a or n, nor can they be made plural. So we had already discussed that countable nouns, there is no restriction on countable nouns for using indefinite articles. But as mentioned here, we cannot use a or n with non-countable nouns. We cannot use I have an information is an incorrect sentence because we cannot use indefinite article with non-countable noun. The correct sentence would be I have some information. We ran short of 3 breads today. This is also an incorrect statement. The correct statement would be we ran short of 3 slices of bread today. We always use a singular verb with uncountable nouns. As we have already mentioned, they cannot be made plural, so we have to use a singular verb only. A lot of luggage are lying in the drawing room. This is an incorrect sentence because luggage is an uncountable noun, and here in this sentence, are, which is a plural form, is used here. So the correct sentence would be a lot of luggage is lying in the drawing room. Luggage is uncountable noun, so we will use it with singular form. So we have used is in the sentence. I hope you have gained clarity about countable and non-countable nouns. It is important to follow a few rules while using nouns. So let us discuss some of these rules as these would be very important in our further discussions. Rule number 1. Some nouns are always used in the plural form and are followed by a plural verb. A list of few such nouns is given below: riches, socks, premises, fetters, spectacles, shorts, bowels, pantaloons, valuables, eatables, scissors, movables, stockings, wages, surroundings, thanks. All these nouns are always used in plural form. For example, riches have wings. Riches in the above sentence means wealth and not many rich men. Please be clear about it. In other words, riches is not a plural of rich. The word has its independent existence and is always used in plural form. So we have used a plural verb have with it. Riches is a plural riches is a plural verb, plural form, so we have used have with it. Another example will be kindly give me a scissor. It is an incorrect statement because we cannot use scissor. Scissors is the word, scissor is not. Kindly give me a pair of scissors would be the correct way of saying the sentence. I hope this rule is clear to you that some words are always used in plural forms. Rule number 2. Some nouns ending with s or es look like plural but are always used in the singular form. Mathematics, physics, statistics, news, innings, politics, athletics, summons, classics. All these words are ending with s or es, and so it is very easy to confuse them with plural forms. But it is not the case, and these are singular forms. For example, mathematics are a difficult subject. This is an incorrect statement because we cannot use are with mathematics. Mathematics is a singular form and therefore is must be used with it. Mathematics is a difficult subject would be the correct answer. Mathematics looks like plural but in fact it is singular, so we cannot use plural verb with it. Politics are a game of compromise. This is an incorrect statement because we cannot use are with politics. We have to use is. Politics is a game of compromise would be the correct statement. I hope this rule is also clear to all the students. Some nouns ending with s or es look like plural but are singular, so we will use singular form of verb with them. Let's move on to rule number 3. Rule number 3 states that some collective nouns are singular in form but are used as plural. Some such nouns are listed below: gentry, cattle, people, pleasantry, police, folk, clergy, mankind, poultry, public. You can see all these are in singular form but they represent the plural sense. For example, uh, police, the police is looking into the matter is an incorrect statement because with police we will use plural form that is are. The police are looking into the matter is a correct sentence. Another example would be the cattle is grazing in the field. This is an incorrect statement because with cattle we have to use plural form. So the correct sentence would be the cattle are grazing in the field. I hope this rule is also clear to you that with collective nouns we use some collective nouns. Now let's move on to rule number 4. Some nouns are generally used in singular form only. Some such nouns are listed below: poetry, scenery, offspring, abuse, stationery, advice, furniture, information, luggage, hair, machinery, fuel, mischief. All these nouns are generally used in singular form only. For example, I do not like poetries of Keats. This would be an incorrect statement because we cannot use poetries. Poetries has to be singular only, that is poetry. So the correct sentence would be I do not like poetry of Keats. Another example would be the old furnitures were disposed of. Furnitures, we cannot use furnitures, we have to use furniture only. So this is an incorrect statement and we will use the old furniture was disposed of. We please look that we have used was with furniture, that is a singular form with furniture instead of were. So please look at some of these words and remember to use singular form only with them: poetry, furniture, rice, fuel. Have a look at these words. There are few more words as well which you can come across while practicing more questions. Rule number 5. Some nouns have same form in singular and plural, and therefore the nature of verb depends upon sense of the sentence and noun. Some words are used have same spelling while using in singular and in plural form, like sheep, deer, fish, rice, apparatus, means, crops, pan, species, amends, series, canon. What we are trying to say is the word remains same both in singular and in plural form. For example, the a series of lectures on the subject. This would be an incorrect statement because a series of lectures, according to this sentence, defines a singular form. So it would be a series of lectures was delivered on the subject. Okay, we will use was instead of were. Although series can be used in singular as well as plural, but with according to the sense of the sentence, we would use the singular form of verb. Another example would be the fishes cannot live without water. Here we have it is mentioned fishes with an es, which is an incorrect form. The word is only fish for singular as well as plural. So the correct statement would be the fish cannot live without water. Let us look at one more example to get more clarity about this. The audience are humbly requested to be seated in their seats. Here, individual members of the audience are being talked about. Therefore, there are several audiences in the maybe whatever it is, an auditorium or hall. And for several audience, we will use plural form, that is are. So this is an correct statement. The audience are humbly requested to be seated in their seats. Now, the audience is quiet. Here you can see that we have used is instead of are. The audience has been treated as a single unit, therefore we are using is here in this sentence instead of are. So both these sentences are correct. We are using plural form and singular form without changing any spelling of the word. Audience can be plural as well as singular. I hope this rule is clear to you. Now we will move on to the next rule. Rule number 6. Nouns which are expressing any number are always used in singular form only. For example, if there is a number mentioned in it is a it is a it is a compound noun with number. as a part of it, it will always be used as a singular form. For example, he gave me 500 rupees. Here, hundreds is used in this sentence along with 5, which is incorrect. The correct statement would be, he gave me 500 rupees. Another example would be, Rahul bought 2 dozens banana from market. Here also they have used the plural form along with the number. So this is incorrect. The correct statement would be, Rahul bought 2 dozen bananas from market. Nouns which are expressing any number are always used in singular form. Okay. Rule number 7. Uh, the apostrophe and s cannot be used with non-living things to show possession. We use apostrophe and s to show the possessive nouns, like to show the relation or association with an object or person. So here in rule number 7 it is mentioned that we cannot use apostrophe and s for any non-living thing. For example, the chair's arm were broken. Although apostrophe s is trying to make an association with the arms that were broken, but for non-living things we cannot use apostrophe s. So the correct sentence would be, the arms of the chair were broken. I hope you have understood that we cannot use apostrophe s with non-living things to show possession. We have to use different sentence. Rule number 8. While using compound nouns with apostrophe and s, the apostrophe should be put only with the last word. This is very important. For example, this is my father's in-law's car. This is an incorrect statement because we cannot use apostrophe s with father as well as law, because father-in-law is a compound noun. So the correct sentence would be, this is my father-in-law's car. Please observe that we have used apostrophe s with only the last word of the compound noun, not with the first word of compound noun, but with the last word of compound noun. Now let's move on to rule number 9. When we have to show ownership or relationship with multiple nouns in same sentence, we cannot add apostrophe s to each noun. Instead, we add apostrophe s to the last noun in the sequence. What does this mean? That let us explain this with the help of example. The name of Ram's and Sham's father is Balram. Here, what we are trying to do is we are trying to show the relationship of Ram and Sham with their father Balram. So, instead of using apostrophe s with all the objects, we will use apostrophe s only with the last noun in the sequence. The name of Ram and Sham's father is Balram. This is a correct statement. Okay. Please observe that we have used apostrophe s only with the last noun in the sequence, that is Sham. We have not used apostrophe s after Ram. I hope all these three rules are clear to you because they are mainly for possessive nouns. Rule number 10. It is important to identify whether a noun is singular or plural so that we can use the correct form of verb in the sentence. So, how to identify whether it is plural or singular? For example, if a noun is ending with the singular form is ending with then its plural form will end with a. Will be replaced by a. Addendum is a singular form and its plural form would be addenda. Similarly, datum is a singular form and we will replace with a. that is data. So datum is a singular form and data is a plural form. Erratum, errata. uh, Medium, media. Sanatorium, sanatoria. So we are replacing um with a in order to convert a singular word into a plural form. So please remember these rules because these will help us in identifying whether the form of verb is singular or plural, and accordingly we can use other forms of verb with it. Uh, so these are the nouns which are ending with and these are some exceptions like asylum, museum, where is not replaced by a but s is added in the end to convert them into plural forms. Similarly, some nouns which are ending with is, the is is replaced by es in order to convert them into plural form. For example, oasis becomes oasis, analysis becomes analysis, but with es. The is in crisis is replaced by es in order to convert into a plural form. Basis becomes basis, thesis becomes thesis with es. Similarly, a few nouns which are ending with a, like lacuna, a is replaced by ae, lacunae, in order to convert into plural form. Some nouns ending with on, in order to convert them into plural form, on is replaced by a. For example, criterion becomes criteria for plural. Phenomenon becomes phenomena. The on in phenomena is replaced by a in order to convert into a plural form. Us in some nouns is replaced by I in order to convert them into plural form. For example, US in locus is replaced by I and it becomes loci, which is a plural form. So these are some rules that kind of hacks which we can use to identify whether a noun is used in singular form or plural form. The noun ending with a is added in order to convert into plural. Es is added. On is replaced by a in the plural form. So please remember these hacks in order to identify singular or plural form. Some examples are the agenda were drawn up. So as we know, uh, agenda is a plural form. So we will use plural verb with it. All the errata have been corrected. Errata is a plural form, and therefore we have used have with it. The old alumni of the college meet every year. Alumni is a plural form. The old dicta of conduct have changed. Dicta ending with a is a plural form of noun and therefore we have used have. There are many sanatoria in India where sick people go for treatment. So, sanatoria is a plural form and therefore we have used are with it. So, I hope you have understood why I have been trying to tell you about these hacks because they are useful in identifying which form of verb we have to use. Alright, so we have discussed most of the rules which are related to nouns, and this will help us cover all the questions related to nouns that we can face in the examination. Let us practice a few questions in order to test what we have learned. Identify the part of the mentioned sentence which is grammatically incorrect. The scenery of forts in Rajasthan are very beautiful. So you have to identify which part of this sentence is grammatically incorrect. I am giving you 10 seconds to mark your answers. The rules that we have discussed recently in order to mark the correct answers. The, what rule is being applied over here? I hope all of you have marked your answers. Let's discuss the answer now. The correct answer would be C. The scenery of forts in Rajasthan are very beautiful. In the sentence, we cannot use are. Are very beautiful in Rajasthan are is the incorrect part in the sentence. As scenery is an uncountable noun with which we use only singular verb. Remember? With scenery, we will use only singular verb. So instead of are, we will use is. The correct statement would be the scenery of forts in Rajasthan is very beautiful. See, we have replaced are with is. Now let's move on to the second question. His children is very intelligent and talented. You have to identify the grammatical mistake in this sentence as well and mark it as option A, B, or C. Or if you feel that there is no error, then the answer would be D. I am giving you 10 seconds in order to mark your answers. The correct answer would be B. Children is used as plural noun, hence plural helping verb should be used with it. We cannot use is with children. We have to use are. That is the plural form. Therefore, the correct statement would be this his children are very intelligent and talented, and therefore the correct answer to this question would be B. Is very intelligent has a grammatical mistake because we cannot use is, we have to use are. You will get similar questions in your entrance exam as well. You will have to mark the incorrect part, so please be careful and mark the right option over there. Let's move on to next question. The news of his journey to success are encouraging. You have to mark the grammatical mistake in this sentence as well. Which part of the sentence is containing the mistake? A, B, or C? Or whether this sentence is grammatically correct. The news of his journey to success are encouraging. I hope you remember the rules that we need to follow. I'm giving you 5 seconds in order to mark your correct answers. Read the sentence again in order to identify where the mistake is and then mark the correct option. The news of his journey to success are encouraging. Where do you think is the mistake? I hope all of you have marked your answers. Okay, then let's discuss what would be the correct option. So, all of those who have marked C, C is the correct option because news is a noun ending with S, which looks like plural, but it is singular, as we have already discussed in our rules, and therefore only singular verb should be used here. But what has been used in this sentence with news? Are. Are is a plural form of verb. So we cannot use are with news. The correct statement would be the news of his journey to success is encouraging. Instead of are, we will be using is because news is singular. Although it ends with s, but it is singular. Now, next question. Sheeps are grazing in the farm. Please find the mistake in this sentence and please mark the correct option which shows the mistake. Sheeps are grazing in the farm. So please tell me what's the answer, A, B, or C? I hope you have been applied over here. We don't need to remember the rule number or anything, just the sense. So the correct answer would be A. Sheeps. We cannot use sheeps. Sheep is a noun which has the same form in singular and plural form. Therefore, we cannot use s after sheep. Sheeps is not a verb. Sheep is a word. So the correct statement would be sheep are grazing in the farm. Okay. You might get confused at why the R might also be a mistake, but no, sheep for multiple animals. Therefore, R is correct, and sheeps cannot be used, so sheeps is a mistake, and therefore the correct answer would be A, not B. Okay, sheeps is the mistake, so correct answer is A. The correct statement would be sheep are grazing in the farm. Although it is depicting a plural form, but we will not apply s after it. Okay, I hope this is clear to all of you. Let's move on to next practice question. Her sister's-in-law's house is very beautiful. Please identify the part of sentence which has the grammatical error. Her sister's-in-law's house is very beautiful. I am giving you some time so that you can go through your concepts and mark the correct answer. Okay, so let's discuss the correct answer. The correct answer would be B. Why? Because sister-in-law is a compound noun, and while using compound nouns with apostrophe s, the apostrophe should be put only with the last word. I hope you remember that with compound nouns, apostrophe would be used only with the last word, that is, with laws. So the correct statement would be her sister-in-law's house is very beautiful. Please observe that we have not used apostrophe s with sister because it is a compound noun, so we would be using only with the last word, that is laws. So the correct option would be B because the mistake is in her sisters. B part of the sentence. Okay, I hope all of you have understood this rule. Compound noun, while using apostrophe s with compound noun, only we have to put it only after the last word, that is after laws. So here the association with house is easily depicted by placing apostrophe s after law. Let us move on to next question. What is the criteria of selection in the examination? Please identify the incorrect part mentioned in this sentence. All these questions are based upon the rules that we have discussed recently. So please try to remember which rule we should apply over here in order to get the correct answer. We have to also work upon improving our speed in answering these questions. So uh, try to answer these questions as quickly as you can. Let's discuss what would be the answer of this question. I hope all of you have marked it correctly. The correct answer is C. Why is it the correct answer? Because are will be used in place of is, as criteria is a plural form. Remember, criterion is a singular form, but criteria is a plural form. So what will be used with plural form? Are. We will not use is. So is a incorrect part meant of this sentence, and therefore C is the answer. Criteria is a plural form, so we will use are with it. The correct statement would be, what are the criteria of selection in the examination? Okay, let's. With these practice questions, we will end today's lecture. I have tried to cover all the important concepts of noun in this lecture, and we will move on to pronouns in the next lecture. In order to strengthen your grip on English language, please keep reading. It can be anything that excites you, a novel, newspaper, or even textbook. If you keep reading, you keep growing. It will only strengthen your grip over this language, and believe me, it will help in your examinations. So, we will meet in next lecture. Goodbye until then. Thank you.